Now let's write the pick method so that we can pick the first item of the stack of the heap. So we go there in the heap class and we write the following method. Public, it returns an integer, and we first check if the list is empty, because if it's empty we can't do anything, so we will just throw a new exception and we will say the heap is empty, and we will just return the first item of the heap, because if you remember, it's an array. So we will go back to the main method. We'll go here and we will call the heap pick method, or even better, we will go here. First we print the elements, and before the sorted list, let's see, we will do it like that. Before the sorted list we will see the first element, and we can also write picking now, picking the first element, like that. Save and run the code. And as you can see here, we have the elements and we pick the first element, and it is the 25. So the code is working. And at this point I would also like to show you another queue, the priority queue. This is included in the Java documentation. You can always call this queue. This is the priority queue, so you don't need to write these methods, they are already written. Let's see, PriorityQueue zum Beispiel, for example here, PriorityQueue and the semicolon. And as you can see, we have imported here the priority queue. Methods that are included in this queue, in this implementation, you can check them out in the official Oracle documentation online, and we will just see 3 of them here. We will see the add, which does what it says, it adds elements. For example, we will say the priority queue, we want to add the element 3, and let's add some more elements like that. So we will say 59, 34, 78, 94, 6. And now we will try to PriorityQueue pick and see what it does. We will run the code as it is, and you know what, we can also make everything cone. Let me see in Eclipse. We can just comment out everything except the priority queue, like that. So if we run this, you can see here that we don't get anything back. But if we do it with system.println and pick inside, let's run it again. You can see that we are picking inside and seeing the first element. The first element is a number 3. If we put the number 3 here and we run it again, you can see that we still get the number 3. That's because it is already sorted in accented order. Another method would be the PriorityQueue remove. What remove does is it removes the element and then it prints it. So let's see now. As we can see here, it returns false because the first element is not being removed. Let's try it with another pick. PriorityQueue and another pick here, and then we will copy it one time and run it. And as you can see, it says always false because the 3 is here. So let's try another method. Remember that if you press now the dot, you can see all the methods that are inside this class. For example, it has is empty boolean, and we can see if it's empty. Let's leave it like that here, and we will experiment by pressing the 1. So the list is not empty, 3 is there, and the first element is false, we can't remove it. So let's see with 4, what does it with 4? The 4 is there, it's true. And let's try it with 3, with the number 3. It's also true. And if we pick after that, PriorityQueue pick, then we can see the first element is the number 4. That's because we remove this element. Until now we did try to remove the 0 and the 1, and these numbers are not here in our queue. But as you can see, we saw first that the array is not empty, that the list is not empty. Then we picked, and the first item that we see is a 3, number 3. Then we removed the 3, and the first thing to be picked is the number 4. Let's run it again. As you can see, the list is not empty. Then we pick, and the first number is the 3. Then it says true because it already exists such a number, and it removes it. And if we remove again, let's remove the number 4. The number 4 without picking, as you can see, it says true. It has removed the number 4. And in order to see if it's true, then we will pick again. And the next number is the number 6. So the 3 is removed, the 4 is removed, and it is also here. True, it was removed. True, 4, it was removed. And the first element of the list is now the number 6. If we remove the number 6, the next available number on the list will be the number 34, I think. Let's try it again so that we know what to do. Exactly. 6, it's true, it's removed, and then the first item, if we pick up, it's the number 34. So that was the PriorityQueue. And as I said, you don't need to write any of these methods, they are already written. You just implement it. It is in Java util PriorityQueue, and you can just make an instance of it, of this class, and call all of its methods.